Hello class, today we'll be looking at derivative of three-sector model of national income. When you're talking about three-sector model of national income, you are looking at an economy where there are three constituents, just like this. Y. Y represents aggregate expenditure of the economy. C represents private consumption. I represents private investments. This is two-sector model because we have two constituents here. Private individuals and investments. That are two constituents. But if you are looking at three-sector, you have to include government. So that makes it to be three-sector. And in this three-sector model, we have our C. Our C can be split this way to be A plus BYD, where A is autonomous consumption, a consumption that does not rely on the income. Then we have marginal propensity to consume. Then we have YD, which is our disposable income. This is the income after deduction of tax. Okay? Now, but we can look at this disposable income in two ways. It can be disposable income that we have left after deduction of tax, a tax that is dependent of income, or a tax that is not dependent of income. It means that when you are talking about tax, we have tax that is dependent of income, and we have tax that is not dependent of income. So if you are looking at tax that is not dependent of income, it will just be like this, where YD equals Y minus T. That's all. But in a situation whereby the tax in the model is dependent of income, then we'll be having something like this. YD equals Y minus T, where T itself, or anyhow, T itself is dependent of T naught plus T, it depends. Some will put T naught and T1, subscript. Some will put T naught and Ty. But what we are just saying is that you can have a function of T in some cases. When you have T splitted, that means that T is dependent of income. But when you just have T not splitted, T is just T. You don't need to open bracket to show the function of T. That means the tax is not dependent of income. So that is where we are going to now. We are still going to do the one that is dependent of income. But for today, in this video, we are looking at the one that is not dependent of income. The tax that is not dependent of income. So we are using this function. Do you understand? So I start now. Y equals C. So instead of me writing C, I'll just write A plus BYD plus, I'm following the formula here, the model here. C, all of this represents C. Plus, I put it back. I put it back. Plus, I put it back. Then G. Having done that, write again Y equals A plus B. Don't forget my YD is Y minus T. So I open bracket because it's times, B times Y minus T. I close the bracket, I put the plus again. Then my I, my G. Do you understand? So what am I going to do now? Do you understand what I did here? So instead of writing BYD, I wrote my B. Then this YD, I take the function of YD, which is Y minus T. But I inserted it there. Then I continue. Then, so I continue, I say A plus, I say B times Y, it will be BY. Then plus times minus will be minus. B times T, BT. Do you understand? BT. Then I continue with my plus, my I, my G. Do you understand? So having done this now, let me. Okay, now let's continue now. Let's continue. Now, having done this now, then what we do is we collect the like terms. Now look at this Y. We write the Y, then we look for the one that has Y here, which is plus BY. We come to the left. Please, this is left to the point of equation sign, to the point of equal sign. So this equal sign is the demarcation. Now this is the left. Now we're taking the Y, then we go to the right to pick BY. The sign will become minus BY. Then is there anyone with Y? No. So we say equals. So we say A, we will write the items there back. A, then we use this one to leave it. Then it remains minus BT, then plus I plus G. That's what we did. Okay? Now the next one is to factorize. So let me start from here. So I want to factor what's coming between Y minus BY, which is Y, right? Then I factor the Y out. Then I write, so okay. Now, then this y I factor out, I will divide it. I will divide the y here by that y. So I'm going to have 1. Y divided by y is going to give me 1. So I take this y I factor out, I put it here again. I divide this by this, it's going to give me b. So I have minus b, the minus and the b. Can you see that now? Okay. So having done that, then I continue. I rewrite my a minus b t plus I plus g. Okay. Now what do? I divide both sides by what? So that I have only y here by 1 minus b. 1 minus b. So this one we cancel this one out. I'll just have y equals a minus bt plus I plus g over 1 minus b. 1 minus b. So this is the equilibrium point. Easy. So if you are given a question now, you have to find the equilibrium. With this, you just insert the values given to you, you get your equilibrium. But we want to look at government expenditure. We want to look at government multiplier. You can decide to look for investment multiplier, but let's look at government multiplier. That is, if government injects some amount of money in the economy, by how much will it multiply itself within a short period of time? Mostly in a year. Do you understand? Okay, that is multiplier. So if you want to look at the multiplier now, you now do what? We do partial derivative. So how do you do partial derivative? So you are going to say, please, you need to know that change in y with respect to change in what? You are taking g, change in g. Then a, we don't need a because it's partial derivative. Minus bt, we don't need it. Investment, I, we don't need it. But what we now differentiate with respect to what? G. So we are going to differentiate g. So when you differentiate g with respect to excuse me, if you find differentiation of g, so it's going to give you what? 1. So you have to have 1. Please, you need to know how to do that, how to differentiate 1. If you differentiate with respect to g, it's going to give you 1 over 1 minus b. So these are multiplier, government multiplier. It's as simple as that. It's as simple as that. So if you want to differentiate with respect to I, it means you focus on I. So if you differentiate with respect to I, then change in I will be here. So the answer will also be 1. Please, you have to learn how to do partial derivatives. You can check our videos for that. So this is for multiplier of 3-sector model in which tax is not dependent of income. Do you know what I mean by that? Tax is not dependent on income. This is how the multiplier will be, and this is how equilibrium will be. This is for equilibrium of tax of 3-sector model in which the tax is not dependent on income, and this is the multiplier for that. So we now derive in our next video now. We derive 3-sector model whereby tax is dependent of income. Sorry, where yes, tax is dependent on income. Then you now see how we can get the multiplier and the equilibrium of that one. They can't be the same thing. Please subscribe and get more of our videos.